Hi everyone. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, irrespective of wherever you're watching from. Please let me know if you can hear me. Hello everybody, good afternoon. It's Gabby here once again. Thank you, Moses, for taking your time to be here. I hope you can see me clearly and you can hear me
Yes, I
clearly.
can see
Please let
you.
me know if you can see me and you can hear what I'm saying.
I can see you and I
All
can
right,
hear
all
you.
right, thank you. Okay, for the audience that are watching and that will still watch, today is about how to apply for Chevening scholarship, and we know that the one that is currently available is going to end by November, and I figured out that a lot of people they find it difficult to apply for Chevening scholarship, so I decided to invite. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name very well. Abasiofon Ime Moses. She's a scholar. She has been awarded Chevening scholarship, and she has also been awarded another scholarship from Total. Yes, I think I'm right. So she's going to be sharing with us how we can apply for Chevening scholarship, the processes, what it takes, and the like. So if you have any question, please, it's better for you to just take this opportunity, to ask your questions, right? Because she may not really have the time to answer the questions or, respond to some messages after this session. So I would encourage everybody to prepare their questions, at the end of everything, and hopefully everybody get to be a part of the beneficiaries of Chevening scholarship. All right, so thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate. Thank you for taking your time. It's a privilege to have you here. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's just go straight into it. I believe more people will join as we continue. All right, so I would first like you to share with us your Chevening scholarship journey, how you applied, how the process went. I would really love to hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Gabby, for having me. Yeah, my name is Abasafon Moses. And before I go on, because I just want to go right into it, I want to put a disclaimer out there that all that I'll be sharing, it's my own experience, and this does not represent um, the approval of the Secretariat either in the UK or in Nigeria. So please let that be noted. All right, so my Chevening journey. So if I tell someone that I applied for Chevening in 2022 and I got rejected, nobody would believe. So I got rejection. That was last year, February. And it actually hits me because I spent 3 good months in writing my essays. I mean, to write good essays to stand out, you really have to do a lot of research. You have to watch the videos. So I invested 3 good months, and then I got a rejection. I was sad. So it took a lot of courage for me to reapply again, right? And then this time around, God helped me. I was selected, and I used 1 month to prepare for my interview. So most people see the success story out there, but they don't know that there's a lot of work that actually goes into it. So if you really want to stand out, there's a lot of work to be put into it. So that's basically all. Except there's something more specific you want me to talk about.
Okay, thank you so much for that brief story of your journey. All right, and I love the part where you said that it takes a lot of work because people don't tend to talk about that aspect. So people like to hide this and they just say as if it is very very easy. And I love the fact that you said you were once rejected and you just had to put in again, so that some people after applying or some persons might have applied applied and they have been rejected and they just feel like they are not doing it again. So thank you for pointing that out. And I think that is going to encourage some people to also reapply again, that,
Yes.
maybe this time it's going to work out. All right. So for the Chevening scholarship, how does the application go through? Because some people will be like, am I to apply to the school first? Am I to apply to Chevening scholarship first? How do I really go about this? I would like you to, talk about the application process. Thank you.
All right. So the Chevening scholarship, just for people that don't know, I always advise people that they should just go online and just type Chevening scholarship. And once you just type Chevening scholarship, the first website you will see is the chevening.org website, right? So for people that don't know, Chevening scholarship is a prestigious scholarship that gives potential leaders, people that have the potentials to become global leaders. It's getting the opportunity to study in the UK for 1 year. So they'll fund your masters for 1 year. Now, here is a clause, you must come back to Nigeria. I mean, I believe that we have a Nigerian audience, and even for other people that are in other country, you must go back to your country for at least 2 years. Now, shifting is all about impact. They want you to go there and go and improve your skill and come back and impact. Remember, before they even take you, you were already doing something. So they want to see a continuation of your impact. So it's a fully funded scholarship. So everything will be paid for: your ticket, your flight, your tuition fee, your stipend, and all of that. Now, currently the application is actually open. It opened on the 6th of August, and it will be ending on the 5th of November. Now, to be very honest with you, your main concern right now should be your 4 essays, how you should write, winning essays that would get you this scholarship. Now, you will have to identify at least three schools in the UK. Now, you can identify to, you can choose to study one particular course in three different universities, or you can choose to study three different courses in one university, or you can choose to study three different courses in three different universities. The one I did was I actually applied to study for one course in three different universities. So now the only thing that you have to do is to find out this research about these universities, because you will talk about these three universities in your essay. So research about them, make sure that you meet the eligibility criteria of application, so that they will not reject your application. So we have the conditional offer, and we also have the unconditional offer. Now, by July of next year, you must have an unconditional offer, because sometimes you can get a conditional offer. Now, what does a conditional offer means? A conditional offer means maybe the school has given you an admission, but you must provide either an English test, or probably provide your final certificate, or probably your official transcript. While an unconditional offer says that you don't have any other thing to do, you don't have to submit any other thing again, and then you can start your school. So for now, you can just identify those schools, right? Even if you don't have the time to apply to those schools, it's okay. For me, the second time I applied, I did not apply to the schools, because I was still like, oh mom, will these people take me? Would they not take me? So I actually, slowed down on the applications to schools. So you can apply to Chevening scholarship first, then thereafter you can apply to the schools. On the other hand, you can still apply to the schools and apply to Chevening scholarship. So it all depends on you. But what they want to see is that by July of next year, you have an conditional offer from any of your three schools. Because once you don't have a conditional offer, an unconditional offer, you will forfeit your scholarship. That's if you even get in. So that's basically all I'll have to say about that. So in case maybe there's something else you want me to put more light on, please let me know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the response. So, I believe everybody that is watching understands. She said it's either you apply to the school first, or you apply directly to Chevening scholarship, but you must have everything ready by July of next year. And also, you can apply to three different schools. Use applying for three different courses in three different schools, using applying for one same course in three different schools. Whichever way you want, it's just that you are going to change some of your essays. And I hope that is clear enough. But I would like you to clarify the part of the requirements, because some people feel like it's only those that have first class that can apply for scholarship. It is those that maybe there is a minimum range that they have to meet, or maybe they need to have this particular grade. I would like you to shed more light on the requirements, because I feel most thing that is making a lot of people to pull back from applying is because they feel like they don't have the degree, they don't have what it takes. But meanwhile, some don't know that it is more about also their leadership skills. But I would just like you to shed more light on that. Thank you.
So the Chevening scholarship, it's not just for first class. In fact, we've had people with HND, people with 2-2, people with 2-1, been able to get the Chevening scholarship. Now, your results only come into play when we talk about your school. So that's why you have to do a research on your school. Can your school take you in? Can your school admit you? Can your school give you an admission? Can your school give you an unconditional offer? So that one is a very different ball game, and that one is you and your school. Chevening just want you to have that mission and then come to them and then they'll fund you. But what must be clear is that number one, you must be a citizen of a Chevening eligible country or territory. So if you go online and just type Chevening eligible countries or territory, you'll see there, and then you'll be able to know if your country is one of those countries. And then you must commit to returning to your home country for at least 2 years after your scholarship ends. That's part of the eligibility criteria. In fact, during my one time when I went for an interview, they told me, I hope you know that you must return to your country for 2 years. I said yes. So that was the first thing I had to accept to that before they can even go ahead with the interview. And even in your application, there'll be a part that you have to tick. You must agree that this is that. And then number three, one of the eligibility criteria, you must have at least 2 years of working experience, totaling up to 2,800 hours. Now, it doesn't have to be that you have to work in a very big company or it must be in a company setting and all of that. Either your volunteering experience, your internship, all of that counts so far as it's up to 2 years, and it can be cumulatively. So it doesn't have to be in one place alone. So you can have a 6 months experience here, one year experience here, and so on and so forth. I, for example, I run a perfume brand, I run a perfume business. So my role in that business was actually what I use as my working experience, because at that time I did not really have like an engineering, because I have an engineering background. I don't really have an engineering background experience like that. So number four, you must hold an undergraduate degree that qualifies you for a UK master program. So whether your degree is passed, so far as you are able to get admission, into a UK master's program. And now the fifth eligibility criteria for you to be able to apply to the Chevening scholarship is that you must apply to three different and eligible UK university courses. And like I mentioned already, you must have received an unconditional letter or an unconditional offer from at least one of these course choice by reference and educational document deadline. That is by July of next year. So those are the eligibility criteria. You can actually go on chevening.org to read more, and there are some things that can actually make you not to be eligible for the Chevening scholarship. So that's all I can say.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for Sorry for cutting in. That was the network. I thought you were done. All right.
That's
Thank
fine.
you so much for addressing that. So for those people that feel like they don't have the work experience, if you feel like you don't have the work experience, she talked about running a perfume business and she had to leverage on that. I feel like communication is more powerful. When you know how to communicate what you have done, it's really going to pave ways for you. So for some of you that feel like I don't have a, because when people hear experience, work experience, they feel like it has to be in a corporate organization doing 9 to 5. And she just mentioned that that part is actually a powerful part for those that are actually sensitive at this time. It's a powerful aspect because you can't, most people may not be opportune to be working in a corporate organization. Maybe you just finish your school, you can't have that 2 years work experience. But then if you have been selling something maybe as an undergraduate up till now, it's something you can leverage on. If you have been volunteering, it's something that you can actually leverage on. I love the fact that you mentioned that, because it's a powerful area that people should look into. All right. So the next question is I would like to ask that what are the, how to write the essays for the application. I know that it's very wild, it's very big, but if you can just brief it for us, the four applications, what it is all about, and the important things people must mention in those applications. Thank you.
Okay. So for the essays, there are four essays that we have to write. Now, each year, the way they ask the question may change, but the main thing, the core of it still remains that number one, leadership, number two, networking, number three, study in the UK, and then number four, your career essay. So now let me start with the first one, your leadership essay. Now, you want to tell, because like I said, Chevening is all about leadership. Like they want to see that you're a potential leader. So where in the past have you exhibited that skill as a leader? Have you led in your department? Have you led somewhere in your office? What did you use that position to do? Were you able to drive results? Was there a challenge? Did you encounter a barrier? How were you able to solve that problem? How were you able to bring out your critical thinking skills, your teamwork experience, and bring it out and put people together to be able to solve that problem? So first of all, you may want to start by saying, oh, in my opinion, leadership is XYZ. Now, remember, you have just 500 words to be able to write these things. And I normally say you have to cite like three examples. Three examples. So that's why you must be clear, straight to the point, not blabbing about the bush and going around the bush and trying to buy time. So your first paragraph should just be in your own opinion what you feel leadership is. Then your second paragraph should be your first example. Oh, in 2021, I, like in my own case, I was the president of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers, and there is what we call the STAR approach, STARR. So ACE is you talk about the situation you found yourself. T, what you had to do. A, what you now did. Now, R, the results you got from what you did. Now, we always have an extra R, which means reflection. Oh, after all that you did, you sat down and then as a leader, you now saw, oh, this thing I did, I think it was not really okay, or maybe it was okay. Next time I'll do it again, or next time I'll see how I can improve on that thing. So now your third paragraph now will now be your second example, still following the STAR approach. Your fourth paragraph will now be your third example, still following the STAR approach. Then your fifth paragraph now, you are now tying everything down to say, with this leadership experience that you have, you are sure that with the Chevening scholarship, you'll be able to do X, Y, Z, and that close it. Now, going to the networking essay, it also follows the same step. First of all, you may want to say maybe in your own word what you mean by networking. Sometimes it's not even necessary because there's no space to put it. You can just go straight into it. In last year or recently at an event, like in my own case, during the conference, the National Conference of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I met the speaker at the event, Engineer Ura Ifeanyi, and after he spoke, I walked up to him and I introduced myself to him. I now was able to build that relationship, and I've been able to collaborate with him to do X, Y, Z. So it still follows the same pattern. Your situation, state your situation, as in the scenario in which you meet the person, the task, maybe a challenge that you feel that person can help you to solve. Now the action you took to bring this other person to come in and come and solve that problem for you, and then we also have the result at the end of the day. What were you able to achieve? Were you able to use that relationship to impact people or even to do something for yourself? And now you reflect, I believe that for this particular relationship I would have done this or that. So that is how you write the networking essay. So it still follows the same STAR approach, for your and as well your three examples as well. And then the last paragraph, we can now say, being that when once you become a Chevening scholar, you would at the time become a Chevening alumni, and then you have access to the 50,000 alumni network. You can say that you can, with your networking skill, you'll be able to leverage the Chevening alumni network to do X, Y, Z for the benefit of A, B, C. Now, it is important to note that you must mention names, you must mention, strategic, some points to show that you are genuine, that the story you're saying is not fake. It's not something that you just went and come somewhere. It's really happened to you. The name of the person, the time, the year, the event, specific things. And the numbers is very, very important. You must give your results in numbers. Oh, at the end of the day, I was able to increase XYZ by 25%, by 50%, by this. I was able to introduce 300 students to this, that, and so on and so forth. So that's how you write the networking and the leadership essay. So now the next essay is actually the study in the UK essay. The study, yeah, the study in the UK essay. Now, here, you will be talking about how the course you are going to go and study and the school you are going to study, why you choose that university to study that course. So now, like I said before, you have to do a research on your universities. You know, what does this university offer to me? What does the department offer? What are they doing well that is interesting me? For me, for example, I wanted to study chemical engineering at Swansea University. That was my first choice. My second choice was University of Edinburgh. My third choice was the University of Strathclyde. So for Swansea, they had a modern chemical engineering lab. I have never seen it in my life. So it was going to be something big for me, right? So I actually mentioned that, it has this, it has that. Now, if your school is actually a top-rated school, like maybe the Imperial College London, or all those top universities, you can say, oh, it's actually ranked first in UK, it's ranked first in Scotland, or first in chemical engineering in Wales, and so on. Those are so you brag about your school, and why you are going to go and study that course in that school. Sometimes you may want to start your first paragraph by introducing a statistics, right? In my own case, that's what I use. So then the second paragraph will be your first choice university. You now defend it. The third paragraph will be your second choice university, and the fourth paragraph will be your third um university, and then the last paragraph now want to tie everything up. Remember, now for each of those three examples you are giving, you do not just want to talk about the academic part. You want to talk about the things you want to do. You want to explore the city, the culture, your food. Because Chevening is not all about academics. They want to see how you can blend, how you can network, how you can infuse yourself in that culture and come back to Nigeria and use what you have learned from that particular environment. So at the end of the day, you want to tie it down and say, oh, if you have been given the Chevening scholarship, you'll be able to do XYZ and so on and so forth. That will now transcend into your career essay, because you are talking about what you want to go and gain and have, and then begin to give back in your career essay. So sometimes it follows a flow, it has a flow. So someone should be able to read your leadership essay and be still engrossed to go on and read your networking essay, and still be interested to go ahead and read your study in the UK question, and sorry, your study in the UK essay, and then still be able to read your career essay with that same energy. So now for the career essay, that's the fourth and the last career and the last essay. So you may want to start with the statistics. I mean, it has always been working for me. So now, how do you get your statistics? You can go there with what we call the DFID. The DFID, it has been changed to the FCDO, the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office. Now you go there, it's a UK website. Go there, you go and find out the programs, the project that the UK government is doing in Nigeria. Now begin to connect how what you want to do connects with whatever they're doing. You begin to tie it up. I see that the UK government is doing this in Nigeria. So by the time I come back, I want to do this to help them do this and that. Now, you could also want to tie your goals to the SDG. SDG is going to be ending by 2030. So you want to be very, very strategic. In the next 5 years, you want to do this, you want to do that. So now, just to put it in perspective, your last essay should encompass your short-term goals, your medium-term goals, and your long-term goals. Don't be vague. Please give numbers. In the next 1 year, upon my immediate return to Nigeria, I will do this, that in the next 1 year, 2 years. In 3 to 5 years, I'll be doing this. In 10 years' time, I'll be doing this, that, and so on. So now, for example, if you are already working in Nigeria and you went and you had a Chevening scholarship, so it would be a good thing to say, oh, you're coming back to your workplace. Like, it's reasonable, it's realistic. You cannot say you want to come and become the president of Nigeria. It's not going to be possible. So remember, your goals has to be smart. It has to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Because you cannot say you want to become, even if you want to say you want to become something, maybe a president in 10 years. To an extent, it's not realistic. Are you already in a political position? Are you in a political party? What things are you doing? If you cannot see how you will get there in your 1 year goal, 2 year, 5 year, I mean, it's not going to, I mean, it is not workable. So sometimes, a lot of people can do well, but when it comes to the career plan, because that one now is actually future something, we cannot really say, it's actually uncertain. We actually shoot ourselves in the leg. So, and then your last paragraph, you will now be tying it up that if you have the Chevening scholarship, the Chevening scholarship will help you to do all of this and so on and so forth. So, that is now to say something. Sometimes you may feel like maybe because I want to address the concern of the networking essay and the leadership essay, because sometimes it can be, more like mistaken to be the same thing. There's actually a distinct difference. Now, in my role as a president in my department, I had to network with some persons to achieve some goals. So it is now in your place to be able to differentiate your networking part and your leadership part. There is how you can write that essay in your leadership part, and then you also write in your networking part, and then it will be two different things. Like, because by the time you say it and say it again, it will look as if you are repeating. So you have to make yourself stand out. You have to be unique. You must be clear and concise. You don't have time to be wasting much time. You don't have words. It's just 500 words, and that's it. So you must make good use of it. So that's all I can say about it.
Wow, that's too much details there. And you also gave the approach, the star approach. So for those people that don't know the star approach, you might need to just Google that and also follow it, because it's not even about this essay. If you want to apply for any fully funded scholarship, it might also help you in writing out those essays. And she also mentioned that you should not go beyond the 500 words limit. It is very, very important. And I feel like a lot of people just go through, they will start saying things that are not really relevant to each essay. So you have to make sure that you cut off that. And she has given us, the paragraphs, how to follow the paragraphs. The first one is just to like a brief intro into the topic, then first paragraph, second paragraph, like cited three examples, then the conclusion. And I feel that she actually nailed everything. So for those people that have been wondering, how am I going to write all these essays and all that, you can start planning that. I feel that there is still much time before November and you can still apply for it. And also let me just chip this in that before the by the end of this live session, I'm going to be adding a link to, Basia for email Moses. She has a WhatsApp group like that for this book for scholarship blueprint. Sorry, I can't remember the name, but it's something for people that wants to, learn from our journey, our story, and all that. So I'm going to be adding the link to this particular to this particular book. You are going to see the link. So make sure that you join so that she can offer you maybe anything that you want to ask more from her. But I feel that she has actually done justice to all that. So if you have any questions, make sure that you are dropping it, because we are going to be, you know, shutting this down very soon. All right, my last question. I think you've actually mentioned, some of it, but it's just to talk about the schools. Like, what are the things you want to ask list of the schools, or they can just apply for any schools in the UK? And how will they know that they are going to get, okay, the funding is coming from Chevening, but how will they know that, this particular school is in relationship with Chevening, right? So that they don't just apply to any school and expect Chevening to come and fund it. Or is it that it's all schools in the UK that, you know, that partner with Chevening? So that's the last question I would like to ask. Thank you.
Okay, so in my own experience, I've not really seen there is really rarely no school that you mentioned that is not in that is not partnering with UK with Chevening rather. So you can just do your own research. Just go online and say Chevening eligible universities, right? I did not really do that during my own time. I just applied to schools, and automatically those schools were already partnering with Chevening. So most likely, I mean, you will not. I mean, I have not heard of that, but I mean, just to make sure that you are not doing the wrong thing, you can just do a search. It's actually on their website. You can just do a search on that and find out if your school is partnering with the Chevening secretariat. So that's all I can say.
Okay, okay. So is it that when you are applying, sorry for this question. Is that when you're applying, there is a session where they will ask that for the scholarship as maybe you that you can pick Chevening as the scholarship that you are depending on for funding. Is it that there is a session to fill, or you get the admission first and then you tell Chevening? Then I don't know. I don't know how you can
So yeah,
clarify that
sometimes it
part.
depends on the schools. It depends on the schools. Some schools and some schools are different. There's some schools that you feel they said, "Oh, how do you want to fund yourself?" You now put the scholarship, self-funded, and so on. So you now choose scholarship. Sometimes they can go ahead and ask you which body is funding. So you just write the Chevening, and then you go and pass. Sometimes nobody will ask you; they'll just do it. At the end of the day, their own is that they'll give you admission, then they will now be telling you to be doing some payments. Now it is at that point that you now write them a mail and said, "Oh, that you are a Chevening scholarship. Oh, I'm sorry, that you are a Chevening scholar, and that they should exercise patient that Chevening will reach out to them, and so on and so forth." That's how it works.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. You've really answered the question that I have personally, but up to now, nobody has asked any questions. So I believe everybody understood the whole process. And let me just use this opportunity to appreciate you for your time, because I know that you are very busy. You are trying to settle in Europe, and I hope you are also enjoying the moment over there. All right. So thank you so much for taking your time. Thank you so much for answering the questions. And also for the audience and people that are still going to watch, please, if you have any question or anything, I'm going to drop a link to our WhatsApp group so that you can join us if you are in person. Right. So let me just release you, and thank you so much. And God, I pray that God prosper your stay in Europe. Thank you.
Man, thank you too, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Is that network?
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you too. Bye.
So, bye bye, everyone. If you still have questions, you can drop it in the comment section. And hopefully, I'll get to link you up with her so that she can answer more of your questions. But then check the link, the description under this video, and I'm going to drop the link to our WhatsApp group because she's raising more leaders and people that are interested. And she also has a book that is coming out soon, and I'm very sure that it's going to help a lot of people out there. All right. So thanks to everyone that joined this live session, and I hope that you've gotten so much value. And I can't wait to share in your testimonies and just celebrate with you at the end. All right. So thank you and see you next time. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel educational videos and more to come. Thank you and bye.